Okay, so we got our Quest Diagnostics kit in the mail. FedEx brought it, and so we're going to do this one for work. Now, earlier we had done the one we got at Walmart. I forget the brand name of it. Anyway, and it was just a simple swab that you did yourself, and then you read the results. So this one we're actually going to have to send it off to get it to get the results. So today is Tuesday, and so I have to turn this in tomorrow in order to be able to go to work the following Monday. So 3 easy steps. Call FedEx. FedEx in a few words. Tell me what you're going to answer. FedEx return pickup. Interesting. Okay, so I thought you'd have to drop this off at a FedEx location, which I'm driving past a couple tomorrow, so I probably will just drop it off there. But anyway, it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to call FedEx, and they'll come back by and pick this up from your house. So that's cool. Test was being discussed how to get your results online. So that's how to get your results online. You can see your own results. Of course, you'll want to see that and make sure that it's all good. Informed consent and HIPAA authorization. So now you give your work the authority to see your medical records. HIPAA consent. And there's nothing to sign here, so I guess they're saying by submitting this kit, you're authorizing your work to do that. I didn't read all of that, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to see. All right, so then we have this is the to mailing address, so this is the one that came to me. There's not really any big letters that say, hey, start here, so we're just going to have to kind of dig through this stuff. You must complete this section. So you got some paperwork to fill out. I'm really wanting to just show you, and in fact, actually, that's really cool because they've already filled the top part out. You just fill out the date collected, the time collected, and before returning your specimen, be sure you note the date and time collected. Be sure that your specimen is labeled with your name and date of birth. Insert labeled specimen into the specimen collection bag. Fold and insert this completed requisition with the bag. And testing will not be performed when specimens are received after 14 days from the date of collection. So let's hope everything gets there on time. So that's important. It has to go back with it. And invite you to participate. Why should I participate? Okay, some TLDR stuff. And the return bag. And okay, so here's the kit. Stop. Before returning your specimen, make sure you're labeled. Insert the specimen to the specimen collection bag. Fold and insert the completed. Testing will not be performed when specimens are received after 14 days. Okay, so in here we have a vial full of liquid. Let's not break that open. We have a self-collection kit quick guide. That's what I was looking for. We have a biohazard frozen refrigerate room temperature bag with a little piece of cloth on the inside of it. And we have one nose swab. So we'll read through the directions and somewhere, the quick start guide, there it is. And then I'll come back and we'll get going on it. So here we go. Read through the instructions and basically, we'll go through them real quick. So lay out all the materials that you need, including your swab. Leave it in the package until you're ready to use it. Wash your hands and dry. Did that. So wash with soap and water and dried with a clean paper towel, not an old towel or anything like that that might recontaminate. And then peel off the label. So on this sheet, you've got a label down here at the bottom. So they ask you to peel that label off. Great, there's several of them. And okay, and affix it to the specimen here. I'm gonna go this way. Okay, so there's that. Peel the label off with your name and date of birth from the bottom of the test requisition and place it on the tube. This is required. Remove the swab from the package and do not touch the tip of the swab. Open the specimen tube. Well, let's do that first. Hold it in one hand. That's where you're going to have to be a little bit coordinated. Okay, so this is the end of the tube. This is the tip of the tube, and you don't want to touch the tip with your hands. So, got that. And then it says, remove the swab, open the specimen tube, holding it in one hand and the swab in the other. I'm going to flip-flop these. There we go. Don't spill the liquid that's in here. All right, insert the swab of not about 1 inch. About right there. Rotate the swab in a circular motion around the inside edge of the nostril. Do this 2 or 3 times. In fact, the other one I said to do was to also do a spinning motion on it, so we'll do that as well. Repeat the same, but hold it in place for 15 seconds. Okay, do this 2 to 3 times and then hold it in place for 15 seconds. Okay, so put it in about 1 inch. Okay, rotate it around the whole way. Okay, and then hold it in place. 1, 2. Okay, and then do it the same in the other nostril. So around the whole nostril. 1, 2, 3, and then twist and hold it in place for 15 seconds. Okay, then we take it out and we put it into the tube and then break it off. Put a break off point on it somewhere. There. Okay, and then put the cap back on the tube. Okay, insert swab in the tube, tip first until it reaches the bottom. The tip of the swab will be at the liquid. Break the swab handle against the side of the tube at the perforated break point. All right, screw the cap back on the tube and place the tube in the bag. Place the completed requisition into the back pocket of the bag. Okay, so the bag has 2 things. The bag has a inside there. And the bag has a requisition pocket on the back of it. So it's a nice little, like a sandwich pouch. Okay, so let's see. Appeal participants by signing the, oh, I gotta sign that at the bottom. Ooh, almost forgot that. So quite honestly, I mean, you know, doing this once a week in order to be able to go in and work, it's old. It could be old and pain in the butt. Is it a hill to die on? I don't know yet. That's gonna have to be your call. Because one, the Equal Employment Opportunity / ADA folks say that this is illegal. A company cannot require you to do a medical procedure, right? Unless they have cause to believe you need to do the medical procedure for them to verify that you have a particular disease or condition that might cause a safety problem for the workplace. Okay? They have to have some probable cause beforehand in order for you to them to request you to do this. Okay? I need to say, I haven't been feeling well. I think I may have COVID. I've got a fever. I've had a cough. You know, some of the symptoms or signs, and you tell them that, then they have probable cause to say, hey, you know what? We want you to take a COVID test before we come back in. Okay? But a routine scan, is not allowed by law. So, am I going to send this in? Yes. But am I going to also protest with work? Yes. Because I don't think this is right. You know, we already do health screenings, right? And health screenings are designed to help people identify that they may be at risk and they may be able to put other people at risk. If I were to do that health screening and it were to come back and say, you have identified possible or likely causes that you could infect other people at work, I'd stay home. I can work from home. In fact, I'm primarily a work from home associate. But even if I wasn't, I would adjust my schedule and my project so I could make sure that I wouldn't go in and infect anybody. That's the right thing to do. And now I get it. Some people feel pressured to go to work because if they don't get paid. Okay, I am very fortunate enough that I'm on a salaried position, and as long as I get my work done, it doesn't matter as much when I do it. And I've got the luxury of being able to shift my schedule around a little bit so that way I can still get all of my work done and make it happen, and yet be able to take the days off that I need to do. So anyway, unless, if I'm reading the law right, unless you have given them reason to believe that you have a condition, this procedure is invasive. It has to go inside your nose, as you just saw, as opposed to a blood pressure reading or a temperature scan or something like that, which is not invasive. Right? This goes inside your nose. Now, an inch inside your nose, people will be like, well, that's not very invasive. Well, yeah, I know, but it still is. And if that swab was contaminated with something from the factory and I put it in my body, now I've contaminated myself. Some things to think about there. It's a medical procedure because it has to be interpreted by a medical professional. You're sending this off to a lab to be interpreted by a medical professional, a lab technician. Okay? It's invasive and it's interpreted by a medical professional. That makes this a medical procedure. Okay? And your company cannot require this of you unless you have given them reason. Now, if you give up that right to do that and you just go ahead and do it because you don't want to be problematic, that's your call. Okay? I'm not trying to be problematic, but if we continue to give up our rights, they're not rights. You don't have them. The only way that you have rights in this world is if you claim them and you hold to them and you stick to them. So here I am saying all that, and I'm giving up my right because I'm going to send this one in. But again, this to me is not that big of a deal. I do believe that the whole thing will be over within 6 to 8 months. I don't go into work that often, so it's not a pain to me yet. Okay? Now, each and every person's situation is different. I will support anyone who says, I don't believe I should have to do this. You're right. You shouldn't have to do this. And if it's that strong for you, you stand up and you say, no, I'm not going to do this. Okay? You're within your rights to do so. Absolutely. All right? If you say, you know what, ain't no big deal to me, I'm going to send it in, I'm going to do it, I'll support you too. Because you know what? It's really not that big of a deal. Right? At some point in time, the person who says, no big deal, something will come across their path as well that they're like, hey, wait a minute, that's no, I'm not doing that. That's against the law. I shouldn't have to be forced to do that. There you go. You found your limit of where you're willing to stand up for your rights as opposed to where someone else is. Okay? We've all got different places in there, and I'm not going to judge anybody for where they stand in that spectrum. Okay? Some of it is experience, some of it is you can see where this thing is heading, right? And especially those people who have learned from history, there's some very scary telltale signs going on right now with this entire COVID thing, right? The the propaganda that's being put out, the unvaxxed are the evil ones, and they're literally demonizing someone for choosing not to get the vaccine, right? 2 years ago, those same people would have said, man, that person is an awesome person. And just because most of the people who aren't getting the vaccines they're thinkers. They're observers. They're looking around and seeing what's happening. And it's like, it's not adding up. The numbers aren't adding up. We're being told one thing, but we're hearing evidence from other people that are on the front lines that's like, it doesn't match the narrative that's being told. Some of it does, but a lot of it doesn't. And for a lot of us that choose not to get the vaccine, it's because of our perception of what a vaccine is. I had, when I was a kid, measles, mumps, rubella, polio vaccine, all of that stuff was given to me, and I never got the virus. I never got any of those diseases, right? I don't know if I was just never exposed or if the vaccine did exactly what the vaccine is supposed to do and prevent me from getting those diseases. That, in my mind, is what a vaccine is. It keeps you from getting the disease, from getting sick from it. Not it lessens your symptoms. No, a vaccine prevents it. That's what I call a vaccine. The flu shot that they give, that you may or may not get sick from the flu, or it may not be quite as bad, that's not a vaccine. You can get better benefits from taking certain over-the-counter medications or over-the-counter supplements and having a healthy boosted immune system. You know what? You're not going to get as sick from any disease if your immune system is kicking in full force right from the get-go. Or is that a vaccine? Is vitamin C and D3 and other things, are those vaccines now because they help your immune system and you don't get as sick from a disease? No, they're not. No, it would be silly to call those vaccines. And any vaccine that doesn't actually prevent you from getting a disease should never be called a vaccine. So anyway, soapbox over. What you do with this is you've got it back in the bag, you've placed your consent form in the back of the thing, then you put it back in the box. Here's the box. Yay. And then we've got to find the pre-printed FedEx return label. This is the one that's to me, that's not it. That's the bag. So the bag has a pre-printed FedEx return label. Let's make sure it's going back to them. Yep. To Quest Diagnostics in Inglewood, California. Priority overnight mail. So then you take this bag and the box with your specimen in it. Yep. Make sure that that's in there. That's important. And you've signed it and dated it, like with your birth date, and then the date that it's, you collected the specimen and the time. I gotta go blow my nose from that stuff. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, you put the box in the bag, and you seal the bag. Oh, good Lord. There. Okay. Now, that's them. They put the label on, not me, so it's all janky around the corner. But anyway, you've got the bag, you've got a little strip of adhesive that you peel off and put this guy on, and voila. Now we're sealed. And then you take it to a FedEx, drop the postage paid FedEx return bag at a Dropbox location the same day you collect it before 3 p.m. Okay, now this is 9 o'clock at night here, and on my way to work tomorrow, I will drop this in the FedEx box. Okay, so they say as long as it's received within 14 days of the collection sample, you're good to go. And then the instructions say to do it on the same day. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to do it in the morning before I go to work. So I'm going to do it tonight, and it'll be sitting there ready to go and then in the morning I'll drop this off on my way to work. So that's what's convenient for me. And it sounds like it meets all the guidelines, even if it's not letter of the law instructions. So do not drop your specimen package in a drop box on Saturday or Sunday. Okay, I don't know why, but there it is. And that's it. That's everything. All done. Clean up, throw the junk away, and don't throw away the how to get your results online. That one you'll need to go through and sign in, and that way you can see your results. You'll know quickly if they come back with a positive test or a undeterminate test. That's another possible option. So if you get an undeterminate test, then you'll have to do it again and send another one back in. So it's always good to have a spare one of these laying around. And once you sent your last one in, go online and request another 2, and they'll send you 2 more. And so you can always have one and a spare. And once you've used your last one, make sure you get them to send you some more. So again, depending on how frequently you have to go into work, you get one of these, and you have to do it by Wednesday in order to be able to go into work the next Monday. So that's shipping time and processing time at the labs, and the time for Quest to post those results and allow your employer to see the results and say, yes, you're okay to come on into work. So anyway, there it is. More than what you bargained for, I'm sure, but there we go. Have a good one.